What's up, baddies? Welcome to my brand new channel. My name is Sarah, and up until this moment, I have been a short form content creator, but I was kind of feeling like maybe we should hang out more. So I've started this YouTube channel so that I can share more than 90 seconds or 3 minutes of what I do. So I'm very excited. Welcome to the Crown Studio. If you follow me anywhere else, you will be acquainted with my large crown collection. But really, I think what we need to talk about is what a crown makes you feel like, how it makes you think about your life, because that's what we're all about. Okay, I live in New York City, one of the best kingdoms of them all, and I cannot wait to show you all of the amazing quests I get to go on. We really have a good time here, okay? So without further ado, the reason why we're all here today is because I went to Masquerade, which is an immersive Phantom of the Opera production in New York City. But not only that, Masquerade has just opened up Nocturne, which is a nightclub set in the Phantom's lair. I know, I'm freaking out. One of my best friends, Kristen, and I went to what we think is actually like the opening night of Nocturne. There was like so much press. So unbeknownst to us, I think it was like the first night they were doing it, which was so insane. Our story this evening takes place in 3 acts, and of course, starts with us getting glammed up. My favorite thing. I love Phantom of the Opera, but nobody loves Phantom of the Opera like Kristen does. Me! I have a degree in musical theater. I actually grew up in theater, so I'm very familiar with Phantom, but I just didn't fall in love with it the way that some people do. I like it, but I'm much more of a Les Mis girl. Les Mis high, rise up. But I will say that this immersive production of Masquerade, which I saw for the first time a few weeks ago, is unlike anything I've ever seen in theater in my life. And I'm in my mid-30s, okay, so I've lived enough life to say that. It is truly incredible, and it makes me so excited about like where theater is going and what theater can be, and I just can't say enough good things about it. So the show is actually really difficult to get tickets to, so we did not see the show a second time. We just showed up for Nocturne, so that is an option. But I gotta say, like, being back in the Phantom's lair made me want to see the show again. Like, I'll go as many times as anybody wants. Does anybody else want to go? Anybody want to hang out? Anybody want to get tickets? Like, I'll go as many times as we can afford, okay? So Chris and I, we love a costume, we love an outfit, but we also knew that it was gonna be a club and we were gonna be dancing. So it was actually tough to pick out outfits, and we ended up almost picking like the same thing. Like we both ended up in like leather pants and a corset. We get asked if we're sisters all the time. So if you're thinking that, I mean, we do like fucking sisters. No, we are not related, but we're both hotties, so like understandable. Oh my gosh, yes. So when we knew that we had nabbed tickets for Nocturne, we placed a rush order for these incredible Phantom crowns that have chandeliers and roses on them. They were made by Titania's Wardrobe, who is like one of my favorite crown makers and collaborators. She's incredible. She rush delivered these to us, and they came in time with matching earrings, which you can see in my unboxing on Shorts.
So beautiful. Are you barking?
You tell me. He's like, I love it.
He's
no
like,
notes. If any of my friends have to dress up for a theme party, like they know who to call. Like it's me. It's always been me. So you guys will see when we get there, but we looked incredible, okay? Like no notes. But we were also so underdressed. And speaking of me personally, I can count the amount of times that I've been underdressed on one hand. It doesn't usually happen. I tend to be the overdressed one in the room because I wear crap like this. So Kristen came over, we got ready in my studio, we looked so glam and cute, and we were just like buzzing with excitement. Like, you know when you just can't wait to do something? It kind of feels like, you know, like maybe going to a dance used to when we were little. We chatted, we caught up, we beat our faces. Girls, they wanna have fun, you know? Something like that. So before we set off for Nocturne, we know those drinks are pricey, okay? This is one of those New York City things. Like, if you're gonna go do something cool, you're probably gonna pay for it. Not always, but sometimes. So the last time we were there, I think the cocktails were, woo, like 25 bucks a piece. And that's like pretty standard for Midtown Manhattan, okay? So that's what we were prepared for. We were like, if the drinks are the same and it's in the same bar, it's gonna be an expensive night. Because we're balling on a budget, we decided to have a couple drinks beforehand as a little pregame. Also because we're in our 30s and this thing started at 10 o'clock at night. Help. Like that. I do not do that. Like I am in bed by then. So this was a special occasion. It was worth it, but we had to like hype ourselves up. So that's what we did. Okay, do you want to be Ursula or Cruella?
Ursula.
Okay, I'll be Cruella.
Okay. Feels right. Here she goes.
Not a lot of people know this about me, but I actually was a bartender and then a catering beverage manager for I don't know, 10 years over that. So I have a lot of experience with mixology and I actually really enjoy it. I think it's kind of a cool like science. So if we're taking shots, know that I will insist on it being delicious. There will be no warm, non-shaken anything passing these lips. You got it? We're gonna be having a little like refreshment, okay? So that's what we did. They were delicious. We felt like we were ready to go. I feel like YouTube is gonna mean that you're gonna see way more of my house than I intended. I'm gonna have to get a cuter house.
Look at this little nugget down here.
Where is he?
Like he's just always in his own world.
All right.
This light is like so good. So good. Why am I so red?
I mean, by red you mean tan, because I'm pasty. I think it's worth mentioning that I've put off doing long form content for so long, partially because I'm terrified to film in landscape. I just think that's worth noting. I just think, wait, I gotta hold it up like this. I cannot.
I'll do it.
You know, I think I can be honest with you. I can say that to you. Wait. Two mid-30s. It's a struggle out here, okay? These are just like two besties that have the same good side.
We have to share.
Mm-hmm.
Not this side.
No, we can't. Every time we're both like, prom pose. Love you. Ready for masquerade. I have lived in New York City for 14 years and it never gets old when you get out of a car or you come up from the train in Midtown. Masquerade is located near Columbus Circle and it's just a really cool area of town. I'm there a lot attending Broadway shows and going to events, and it really does just hit me sometimes that I live here and have made a living here for 14 years, and it's just something that I'm really, really proud of, and it's really cool, and tonight was one of those nights. We did call a car, which I try not to make a habit of, but sometimes when you're running late and when you're dressed the way we were dressed, you just don't want to get on the train. So we split a car and I didn't take footage of it. So as far as you're concerned, we just showed up. Now we're on to Act 3, the moment you've all been waiting for, when we enter the venue. Sammy's joining us for this part because he will not leave me alone. So we took a car down, and then when we got there, I realized that I couldn't find my mask. So for Nocturne, it is masks recommended, not required. For the show, a mask is required. But I had hand rhinestoned this incredible mask and I was so excited to wear it again. I'm pretty sure that it fell out of the car when we got out of the car because I remember seeing ribbons on the ground. Anyway, it's a whole thing, but I remember seeing ribbons on the ground, but not a mask, but the mask is nowhere to be found. So I'm almost positive that we must have like scooched it out of the car when we were sliding out. In the arms of the angel. Not to worry, they do provide them at the venue, and they are really cool lace masks with like nice big eye holes, and they have the phantom mask in the lace here at the top, and then they are adjustable. I'm also really glad that I have this now because it means that I can like bedazzle it and then wear it again when I go again, because I will. Genius. So anyway, momentary panic about losing my mask, but then I was given another one. And of course, we looked so good. So when we entered the venue, immediately there's a coat check where we checked our coats. We kept our bags on us just because like we had several things with us that we wanted to have. But I am somebody who loves a coat check, so there is one there. And you know what? Both times I've gone, the people working coat check have been absolutely the most helpful, lovely people. So shout out to coat check attendants. You're really doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean? Okay, so when I told you that I felt underdressed, I wish I were exaggerating. I wore a ball gown to see Masquerade a few weeks ago, and I think even that would have been underdoing it. This was full like Studio 54, Club Kid, Paris is Burning vibes. I cannot express to you enough. So next time we won't be purchasing tickets 4 days prior because I'm gonna need time to prep. I thought we were doing amazing getting these crowns, and we did. But wait until you see some of the fits these people had on. Oh my God. A little bit of context about the show. The show has several pulse times throughout the night. So you can see the show starting at 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30. There's also a staggered release of each audience, which meant that when we arrived at around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, the last couple of audiences were still releasing into the Phantom's Lair, because that's where you end up at the end of the show. So that was a little confusing because we had just shown up for Nocturne and there were other people who'd seen the show and we were all merging into the same place. So it was a little chaotic when we first showed up. I think we actually could have gotten there a little bit later. It is currently open until 2 a.m. My understanding is that they're working on getting it open until 4 a.m. if you can imagine. But it was a little chaotic with the audiences letting out at the same time. Also because Nocturne, I feel like you could just show up in a t-shirt and jeans. I wouldn't recommend it. I would judge you, but you could. Whereas people coming from the show are requested to be in formal attire. So kind of had a mixed bag happening there. And the bartenders, honey, were busy, okay? But everyone was masked. Everybody looked fabulous. Some of the performers stayed and enjoyed Nocturne. There were special performances. I was actually really glad that we had seen the show prior so that we kind of like knew the layout of the space. You know, we knew where the photo ops were, all that kind of stuff. One of the things Kristen said when we were prepping for this night was that she really just wanted to hear the Phantom of the Opera theme. That was really important. And she she was like, I wonder if they'll play like a remix. And you guys, I have to tell you, it was the first thing they played. Oh, she's down here. First thing they played, and we were like, oh, great, like the night could end now and we'd be happy. We were so thrilled. There was like a performer in the middle who was voguing and like doing all this incredible movement to the remix of the Phantom of the Opera in the Phantom's lair with like the melting candles all around, and we each had a glass of champagne, and it just felt good, you know what I mean? Also, shout out because this crown stayed comfy, okay? It stayed comfy even with a mask over it, with a mask under it. I stayed comfortable. And I was in leather pants and a corset, okay? So comfort was not paramount, but she was present. At one point, I was so mad at myself because I was waiting to get a glass of wine at the bar, and Amanda Lepore was escorted in. And she probably thought I was insane because Krista and I were just standing there with our glasses of white wine, and we turned around. And I didn't have my phone out or anything, which is why you're not seeing a clip of her there. I just turned and then I just gaped at her and like her entourage. And her entourage actually started laughing at me because she didn't pay me any attention, but they all saw me just like this for like 30 seconds. I did not see her after that, so she must have like come in and then gotten hidden in a corner somewhere. But she was there, which was really cool. I saw a guy with a rat face. I saw a headless guy. I saw like a person dressed up as, you know, like the Phantom with like the bag on his head from when he's an adolescent boy. We kind of tucked ourselves in a corner for like the first like couple of songs just to like people watch, because it just felt like there was so much going on, and like standing by a candelabra felt like the perfect choice. I think we were just waiting for all the people who had never been in the space to kind of like figure out what the vibe was, because like I said, we already knew the lay of the land. So we camped out for a second. Then we went over to the photo ops, which they have the statue of the angel and they have the boat that Phantom takes Christine on down into his lair. So that was really fun. We kind of camped out there to see like how everybody else was posing and taking photos, because everybody looked so amazing. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. There are so few spaces in my life with what I do and the way that I dress, like all the way up to the 9s, to the 10s, to the 11s, that when I find a space that makes that safe, say less. Like, I will be there every weekend. Do not tempt me. No, I can't afford that. I go to fantasy and immersive events like this all the time, so I do seek out those spaces. It's rare to find one that's related to theater, my other love, and in my city. So I'm thrilled. I also felt like the energy was really good amongst the guests. Like, people kept complimenting us. We were complimenting everyone. There was no getting around the fact that I was gaping at everyone. So when they would notice that, I would have to be like, oh, you look amazing. People were offering to take our photo, which is so cool, because when you're out with someone, it's hard to get photos together, right? You're usually taking photos of each other. So it was really cool to get at least one together. I can't believe we're including this clip, but listen, in leather pants and a corset, it was hard to sit low in that boat, okay? It was hard, but I did it and I looked fabulous. Play the receipts. This is also such a small thing, but the photo ops were lit immaculately. Chris and I were drinking Pinot Grigio throughout the night. I don't know much about wine, but I thought it was good. Cheers. One of my favorite features of the decor is this like portcullis situation. I just think it really adds to that dungeony vibe. And then I also love the melting candles everywhere. I just think it makes it feel like super castle-y and magical. And of course, what we were waiting for all night was to bust a move.
Here comes the hurricane, bitch. 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 Oh! Katrina, Katrina, Katrina. Katrina, Katrina, Katrina.
We heard a lot of like old disco hits, which definitely matched the vibe to the outfits and the crew that were there. Super queer friendly space. So that was amazing. I really, really loved that like inclusivity and safety there. That's not abnormal for New York City, but still, no notes. I will say, I think Chris and I both agreed that we would have liked to hear some more Gaga. We would have liked to hear some Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? But the Phantom of the Opera theme remixed was definitely the highlight of the night, so what are you gonna do? In that same vein, I did think it was really smart. We took our clacking fans. We got them clacking. What are we doing? Hey. Period. I have a collection of clacking fans. So when Kristen came over, I brought out like all 6 of them and told her to pick one. I selected a red one that best matched my outfit that's from Mystic Fate, which is a fantasy ball event company in the UK. The fan says I'd rather be at a ball, which in this case was not true. I was very happy to be at Nocturne, but the color scheme was right. In this case, I felt like the ball applied to ballroom, which was very much present. Kristen had a rainbow one, but those were like really fun to use, and like they're always really percussive on a dance floor. I was really glad we brought those. Also because people got really, really hot on the dance floor, and then I got to fan everyone and make everybody feel better, which made me feel good. I'm a do-gooder. I do good. I also had a really special moment where members of the Crown crew showed up, which is really cool. There were 2 women who knew me from the internet who approached me with one of my videos and was like, is this you? I was like, that is me. We ended up hanging out with them most of the night. They were from upstate New York. That was such a treat. So if you're those girls, thank you so much for hanging out. It really made my night to kind of have like a little girl group to hang with, you know?
I couldn't do it anymore. The mask had to come off. I don't think it looks too bad.
If you couldn't hear me yelling over the I had to take my mask off at a certain point. I just was kind of like done with wearing it, and it was so dark in there that I couldn't really tell the number that it had on my makeup. I think I could tell that like my foundation came off in one place, but at that point of the night, I didn't really care. Like I said, the eye holes on those masks are really nice and wide. It really wasn't uncomfortable. It's kind of just how you feel after you've had something on your face for a couple hours, you know? So I did let it go for the night, but I made sure to keep it safe in my purse.
What the? How long has that been there?
If you're not familiar with the musical, there's a freak show element at one point, and one of the performers was walking around with clothespins all over her and asking people to add clothespins to her body in some way. Kristen added a clothespin like just here on her arm. She has like, you know, 50 on her arm already. And Kristen puts one on her and then goes, is that okay? And she just goes, ha 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 ha. So funny, like, bitch, please. If you've ever heard of Sleep No More, which was an immersive production of Macbeth that happened in New York City and ran for so many years, it was a really big part of the original Gossip Girl series and that type of thing. Some of the same creative minds worked on Masquerade. So with that in mind, I know that McKittrick, which hosted Sleep No More, when they would throw parties, it would be the entire experience, meaning you could explore all 4 levels. My hope is that Nocturne becomes like that, where eventually we can explore up through the different sets and things like that of the Phantom of the Opera production. That's my dream. You can see in one of the shots, there's an escalator that goes up. I can't spoil the show for you, but one of the most magical moments of the show happens coming down that escalator. Blew my mind.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I'm hopeful that they will expand to multiple floors and stay open till 4 a.m. Now that's a party. So eventually, once we were done drooling over everyone and Kristen had made friends with the headless guy, we decided to head back uptown where we both live. We really wanted to like stop and like debrief about the night we had had. We were still so jazzed. So we did pull into a late night spot and closed our night out there. That was our whole night in its entirety. It's so cool to get to share this much with you. I feel like in this video alone, you saw way more of my apartment. You saw way more of my dog. You saw the good, bad, and the ugly of us being out at night in New York City. All things which are so part of my story, so part of my quest, so part of my acts 1, 2, and 3. I attend so many immersive events for a living. I go to fantasy balls. I help consult event companies on how to throw these types of things. So I love that they're becoming more prominent and there's more excuses to dress up, to dance, to have a good time. I think the world is on fire. I think life is hard enough and we could all use a little more whimsy. So I'm really excited about this chapter. Tell me everything. Tell me what you want to see in long form on this channel. Let's talk about crowns. Let's talk about gowns. Let's talk about immersive events. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about plays. Let's talk about corgis. What? I'm so excited to be here and I'll see you in the next one.